This is the story of a wisdom seller. Once upon a time, in a peaceful town, there lived a humble shopkeeper named Ibrahim. He was very honest and he was very hard-working man, and his life revolved around around his small shop. Ibrahim had a son named Faris, who was very bright and thoughtful young man. Sadly, time took its toll, and Ibrahim passed away. His son Faris was devastated and heartbroken. Sadly, time one day, as he sat beneath a tree in sorrow, his late father friends passed by. Seeing the young man in grief, he said, Faris, you are your father's son. You must step up and carry on his legacy. The shop needs you. The business needs you. Taking his words to heart, Forrest returned to the shop and began to manage it. But days turned into weeks, and not a single customer came into the shop. No customers were coming there. There were no sales were keeping there. Though intelligent, Forrest felt defeated. He made the difficult decision to sell the shop to a thriving businessman in the town. Then an idea struck him. Forrest rented a small shop in a crowded market. He hung a banner outside that boldly declared, "Wisdom for sale." People passing by laughed. Some thought he was crazy. Wisdom can't be bought. They mocked, but Forrest calmly told the crowd, "If you or your children want wisdom, I offer it for a fair price." His quiet confidence stirred curiosity. People began to talk about his strange shop that sold wisdom. One day, a man entered Faris' shop out of pure amusement. He handed over Ibrahim and dirham, and Faris gave him a scroll with a thoughtful saying, though it was just a joke to the man, but it was not a joke to Faris, it was a real business to Faris. That entire week he earned only 2 dirhams, but Faris was determined. He believed in what he was doing and refused to give up the wisdom shop. And he was thoroughly selling the wisdom. In the same city lived a wealthy but miserly man. He had a simple son who was named Munir, who was kind-hearted, but he was a simple man. He was not that much mature but not thoughtfully mature. He was simple-minded and often mocked for his foolishness. His father was frequently frustrated with him, and he didn't know what to do with his son. Time passed on. One day, Munir noticed the wisdom for sale shop. Curious, he stepped in and offered a dirham in order to buy wisdom. Faiz gave him a slip of paper with a piece of wisdom. Munir was delighted. He ran home and said to his father, "Look, I bought a page of wisdom. We can both read and benefit from it." And Enraged, his father saw this as waste and stormed to Forrest's shop, demanding the dirham back. Forrest, ever composed, returned the money without protest. He didn't protest, and he returned the money, waiting for an opportunity. Meanwhile, in the king's palace, tensions ran high. The king had two wives, and they were rivals. Along with this, their personal servants were also bitter enemies. It means that there was very bitterness inside the king's palace. One day, both servants went to the market to buy fruit for their queens. At the watermelon stall, one servant offered 2 dirhams for a watermelon, and in the meanwhile, just then the other arrived, gave 3 dirhams, and demanded the same watermelon. Therefore, a loud quarrel broke out. They were quarreling on and on, afraid of being caught in royal drama. Afraid of being caught in royal drama, the shopkeeper fled. He swept away. Coincidentally, Muniz was there nearby, and they saw him and immediately declared, "You are my witness." Munir was caught in the middle of their dispute. Terrified, Muni and his father returned to Faris for advice. Faris listened and then said, "When the king calls you, act like a man. He won't take you seriously. You will be safe." Faris charged 10 dirhams for this wisdom. Munir did as instructed, and the king dismissed him as mentally unfit. He was spared. Later, however, Munir's father grew nervous. What if the king finds out the truth? He worried he would be punished. Therefore, he was very worried, and in this moment, later on, once again they sought Forest's guidance. This time, Forest said, "It will cost 200 dirhams for a lasting solution." This was a too much high price, but the price was high, but Muni's father agreed. Forest told them, "Wait for a few moments or months, and then return to the king's palace and confess everything. Honest thing is the key to forgiveness. Behave honestly and tell him the truth." 2 months later, Munir went to the palace and told the king the whole story, that he was acting as a married man. He was not a married man. The king was amused and impressed by the clever advice and Munir's honesty. "You are forgiven," he said, laughing. "You are wiser than you appear." And this was the wisdom he had bought from Forest shop, that is wisdom for sale. Munir also told the king about Faris and his unique shop. Curious, the king summoned Faris and asked for some advice. Munir also told the king about Faris. Faris agreed but charged 10,000 dirhams. The king paid 10,000 dirhams to Munir, to Faris, and Faris handed him a small scroll. "Think before you leap." This was the advice to the king, that think before you leap. Soon after, the king fell ill. Unknown to him, his corrupt minister had bribed the royal physician to poison him so he could seize power. He was thirsty for power. As the medicine was brought to the king, he paused. He remembered Forest's words, "Think before you leap." Think before you leap. Suspicious. He ordered the medicine to be tested. It turned out to be poisonous. The king was furious and immediately had both the minister and doctor arrested. This was the result of the forest advice. That is, think before you leap. Think before you leap. Deeply grateful, the king made Forrest his chief advisor, and so the story ends here. Moral of the story is like this. That is, moral of the story, and true wisdom is more valuable than wealth in times of danger and uncertainty. The right advice can save lives. Never underestimate the power of a wise mind. Thank you for watching. Like, share, comment, and subscribe my channel. Support us. Thank you.